Hello G family, this is Shaun and welcome back to Shaun On Site. Now if you guys have set up and actually watch my live stream, you notice that, hey Shaun, man, you kind of good with girls, man, you got some game. What do you do to go out there and talk to these girls? Well, the simple key is, come here, I want you to listen to me carefully. Confidence. I have a lot of confidence. Now, just because I have confidence, that doesn't mean that I get everything right off the bat. Again, if you see my streams, you see that, okay, sometimes I'm able to talk to somebody, most times I get denied or whatever. And you know what? That's okay. That's just a part of how it is. Now, through all of my months of doing live streaming out there in the field and just talking to people at random, I noticed a couple of things when talking to Korean women. Now, what I'm going to tell you right now, this is stuff that comes from my experience, all right? This isn't representing all of the country as a whole. It's just stuff from my experiences. Let's talk about my experiences and what I've noticed when dealing with Korean women as a foreigner. Korea is a very homogenous society. It's a big country and you have places like Seoul that's like really big. A lot of the mentality is very small town minded. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody sees what everybody is doing. Nobody in this country can mind their own business. And I've had to deal with that a couple of times too. Like sometimes I'll just be out on my phone doing some things and then someone just looking over be like, and I would be like, why are you looking at my phone, man? Look, go away. So with that in mind, dating is no different. Korean woman wants everybody to see who they're dating. It's all about looks and it's all about status. Now, when it comes to dating foreigners, usually most Korean women that date foreigners, I usually see a lot of them dating white guys. It greatly varies on a number of different things. It either could be status or it could be that they actually do love them, you know, which is cool. And I like that, I like that. But I have seen some exceptions with the whole status thing, being thrown out the window. Because I know 3 black guys that are actually dating Korean women, and most of those Korean women, they have a very westernized mindset. You know, which again, it's cool, and I dig that. The girlfriend's gonna constantly ask them questions about their guy and everything. It's just all up in their business. So keep that in mind. That whole thing that we have here in America about, hey, don't talk to strangers, that greatly applies here, even as adults. Now, there could be a number of reasons why that can happen, because sometimes there have been unfortunate incidents where women have been attacked by having a guy just talk to them out in public or just doing whatever. Or sometimes the women themselves are just very ignorant to what goes on. But that's neither here nor there. What I've come to find is that the best way to actually talk to a woman in Korea is you do things like language exchanges or public parties where people know people. The mentality of dating is kind of like the 1970s America, where you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows. And when you work that out, bam, you get some people that come together. Even Koreans do this, or Koreans and foreigners, or foreigners and foreigners. That's how it is around here. Very rarely will you be able to pick up somebody, just by talking to someone out in public. But again, there are some exceptions to that. And if you see my streams, you know what I mean. There are a number of reasons why they could flake on you. They can probably see that, it's not my style, so. I'm just going to agree to meet up with you, and I'm just not going to meet up with you. There's that. Or they're just not going to respond to you on Kakao or SNS. It's a lot safer for them to do that way and not have to put up with dealing with any conflict, because in Korean society, getting involved in conflicts is something that a lot of people in the country of Korea just don't want to have to deal with. And so they'll flake or they just won't respond to you. Now, it took me a long time to get over taking this personal, because I was used to think, man, why don't you want to be with me? What am I doing wrong? Am I tall? Am I ugly? Do I walk like a duck? Oh, hey, girl, how you doing? Let me talk to you. See, that's how you get over it. You just realize that, hey, there are plenty of other people that you can talk to, and then you just go from there. In Korean society, like at the schools especially, kids are not allowed to date when they're in junior high and high school. Usually they don't start dating until they get into their 20s. By the time they're in their 20s and 30s, even close to their 40s, they still have the mindset of a high schooler. So since they weren't able to get really get all of that stuff out of the system because they were so concerned with study and getting a good job, going to college or whatever, that trait kind of carries over with them into adulthood, and it can be very difficult to handle. Now, like I said, there are some exceptions to this, but most of this comes from my observations. Women that are really attractive tend to be very high maintenance. And again, that all comes back to the other things I mentioned previously. Now, you got some that are really beautiful, that they're not all that high maintenance, but it's very few and far between. But for the most part, in Korea, the better looking they are, the more high maintenance they are. People in Korea seem to think that, someone is really good looking, so they're nice automatically. Nope. I've seen a lot of good looking people that are very vile and just mean and nasty on the inside. They have something about them. Now, you got a lot of people that are like that, and it's kind of justified. They probably work to get to where they're at, and so they feel justified to being a certain way. But again, there are exceptions to that, because I know plenty of other really, really attractive women that are not like that, that are not vile and vicious. But that's just coming from my experience. But then again, it could be just something I could have done. Hey, I am man enough to admit when it's my fault too on a lot of things, so yeah. If you have any questions or any thoughts to what I've said, please leave a comment down below.
So please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, you're so cute.
Sarah, bye-bye.
How about that, yeah.